Today, I'm going to give you an honest review of the Casper weighted blanket. Now, I would consider myself a weighted blanket expert. I've purchased about 50 weighted blankets. I'm the founder and CEO of Luxome. We are, in my opinion, the best weighted blanket. In the past couple of years, we've sold over 100,000 weighted blankets. We have over 6,000 reviews at a close to 5-star rating. So I know a lot about weighted blankets and I'm passionate about them. So first, I got to be fair to Casper and talk about the good things as well as some of the flaws I see. And so the first thing I would say is the bead distribution is actually pretty good. So what I mean by that is I don't feel a ton of clumping of beads within the pockets. And that is the more manual process of the production of these. So that's where a lot of companies, frankly, screw it up. And theirs is pretty good. I mean, ours is really good. I just did a review of the Luna weighted blanket, and I would say theirs is worse than the Casper. And that one, you could really feel lumps. This, they've actually done a pretty good job of making sure the beads don't clump. So the second thing I want to point out, and again, to stay factual, I want to be clear that the outer fabric is 100% cotton, and they market this as 100% cotton. But underneath that 100% cotton is a layer of polyester. And it says right here on the tag, outer fabric, 100% cotton, inner fabric, 100% polyester. And then there's a polyester batting. And so this is a standard, what they call 7-layer weighted blanket construction. When we developed Luxome's weighted blankets, one of the biggest issues people had was the heat. They were just like, I love the weight, but I'm sweating all night. So we said, how are we going to change the way weighted blankets are made and actually reduce the heat? And the first thing we said was we have to get rid of that polyester lining. So in our removable cover weighted blankets, we do not have that polyester lining. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. I've actually not cut into this yet. So I'm going to cut into it for the first time right now. Now here you'll see, let me cut the other way. Okay. So here you'll see what I'm talking about. There is a 100% cotton fabric here. Underneath it is a layer of polyester. So polyester, it is really not breathable, not even close to as breathable as just cotton, and it generally traps in heat. So this weighted blanket is probably going to be like a lot of other weighted blankets that pretty much all use this type of construction. It's going to be hotter than, let's say, ours that just uses one layer of cotton, because you've got cotton, polyester batting, and on the other side you also have another layer of polyester. So just something to be aware of. I'll just compare it to ours. Our inner weighted blanket, we use a higher thread count cotton, so we don't need a layer of polyester because we use more expensive fabrics that, because of the higher thread count, it's much more dense. And so it prevents the leaking. So here you'll see it's just one layer of high quality cotton, which is much more breathable and does not trap in heat nearly as much as like a polyester and then a cotton. I mean, to be honest, this weighted blanket, if you just removed the cotton, there's one less layer, it would probably be cooler. But you know, companies want to market it as a cotton weighted blanket, so they have the outer shell as cotton, and then they have a polyester. And a lot of times, I can't say specifically for Casper, that this is the reason why they did it, but a common reason why companies do this polyester layer is because they're using a much cheaper cotton, and the cotton can't prevent the beads from leaking. So they use a cheap cotton, and then they use polyester, which is generally considered a cheaper fabric. But the problem is, because they haven't really thought about the customer and what the customer wants, it ends up creating a much hotter weighted blanket. So we really thought about the customer first and looked at the complaints. The pricing of this is a 15-pound, it's 50 inches by 70 inches. When we bought it, it was around $160. It does not come with a cover or anything. It's just, the weighted blanket. On our website, we offer significantly better fabrics like 300 thread count bamboo lyocell. and ultra plush minky, and those come with removable covers for the same price. And actually, the weighted blanket is bigger; it's 54 by 72. So, for the price you pay for this, when we bought it at $160, it's really pretty much a standard weighted blanket. There's other weighted blankets on Amazon with the exact same construction. There's weighted blankets, frankly, almost twice as cheap as this, with a very similar construction. So that's my take on the Casper weighted blanket. It's really nothing special. It's pretty much a standard weighted blanket construction. And they do a pretty good job with the bead distribution, but it's a cotton outer with a polyester inner and a unique design with the rectangles. Other than that, it is pretty much a standard weighted blanket.